I'm here with Glenn Alfred, Senior Manager of Public Safety, to discuss the newly updated domestic animal bylaw. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
So what led to the decision to eliminate pet licenses?
Well, pet licensing has been an issue for us for some time. There's probably only about 4 or 5% of animal owners, dogs and cats. Only about 4 or 5% actually go out and get a license. So the uptake was very low. Most people don't realize that the city, in an agreement with the SPCA locally, did not actually receive any of the money. That all went to the SPCA. But we did have some discussions with people in Spruce Grove. They have a bylaw there where they were using this pet identification tag, which is supplied by the owner. So they don't actually have to get a license every year. They just buy this tag once a year, or pardon me, buy the tag once for their animal. It has an operational telephone number on it. And if the animal is a stray and is picked up by any of our staff, instead of going into the SPCA because the animal's not identified, we can then just call the owner and find out where they're at. You know, in a lot of cases, they're out looking for the animal already, and we can get the animal back to them without having to go into the pound. Less stress on the animal, less stress on the owner trying to find their animal as well, and they're reunited a lot quicker. So that's why we went with that, and council was very supportive of the idea.
Absolutely. And you mentioned now getting a tag. Do some owners already have the tag, or is this a specific one to this new implementation that they have to now go out and get?
Any tag that is permanent and can be affixed to a collar is going to work just fine. And as long as the phone number is still operational, we can get a hold of people.
Just out of curiosity, how much was the pet license fee to, when it existed?
Well, it varied. It was as high as $60 in some cases, and it depended whether or not the animal had been spayed or neutered. But again, this just streamlines things for pet owners in the city of Lloydminster. And so now they're paying a fee to buy their pet tag. So it's probably $8 to $10 to have it engraved with your telephone number. And it's good for the life of that animal as long as you have the same telephone number. So it reduces the cost of pet ownership as well. So if you're looking at, you know, between a $30 to $60 cost per year over 10 years for licensing, you know, anywhere from $300 to $600 that you're going to save on your pet.
And do you have anything you'd like to add on the topic regarding the bylaw?
The bylaw had a couple other changes in it as well. Before the new bylaw was passed on the 11th by council, it didn't differentiate between issues between dogs, or a dog attack on another dog and a dog attack on a person. It was the same fine, and we've separated that out so that you know, it's much more serious when an animal attacks a person. So the fines were changed with respect to that. So the dog on dog attack stayed the same, and dog on person attack went up just to reflect the seriousness of the offense. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Glenn. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.